Hello, welcome back to the good, the bad and the stupid news. It's Wednesday the 24th of July. I still have to check. Still not right with these dates. But rather than make a mistake, I'll double check even if it's on camera. So it's Wednesday the 24th of July. And here's a bit of the news that I picked out today. First of all, it's Boris Johnson's first day in office today. And his first accolade comes from no other than Donald Trump, who said that Boris Johnson is the British version of me. So I don't know whether that is actually, you could see that as a compliment or take it as a compliment. So I think I've distanced yourself from that. But Bojo or Boris Johnson might see that as a good thing. Many wouldn't. Anyway, so Boris Johnson, he's moved also into bought a new house in some street in South London. Obviously, he's moving into number 10, but he's obviously bought a house somewhere in some street in South London, him and his girlfriend, and it's like a terraced house. Imagine like Boris Johnson's going to be coming and moving in next door to you, along with the all the press and all the shit that comes with that. So I bet his neighbours aren't going to be too pleased about that, especially after their recent screaming and shouting tirade. So the neighbours have got something to look forward to there over the next few years. Boris Johnson and his circus walks into town. Theresa May's gone. She was given a £50 a head whip round. It's a bit better than what you get at my work, or when I used to work. For when you left, the £50 a head whip round, and she got bought a what do you call? But you get the woman who's got everything: a Liberty handbag, onyx necklace by Lalique. This shit. She's rich as anything anyway, and the gifts for the rich. But anyway, she's gone. Boris Johnson's in, and the papers are, falling over themselves to sort of tell you all about his gaffes and his goofs that he's done over the past few years or whatever. And it's quite funny actually, because I remember this picture here. There's a picture of him playing rugby. You see him there, and he's smashing. Look at that. Look at it. He's actually smashing, and that's a young kid. That he's like I don't know how old does he say the kid was? I can't remember now. I've cut it out, but a young kid, about 10 or 11 years old. Look at him. He smashed him like proper, like a fucking full on. What's the word? Like fucking the big heavy forwards or whatever in the rugby teams. He reminded me of the time. He actually did the same thing in the football match, that charity football match that they did. The ones where they have all the celebrities like Robbie Williams and I don't know, whoever was there, all celebrities on the pitch and whatever. He came on as a sub, and he ran and tripped over the ball or tripped over the grass and ran and headbutted his opponents in the bollocks. Fucking, the pair of them rolling around on the floor, but he like head first, like, and he's a big heavy guy, isn't he? And he ran. First thing he done was just trip and just smash head first into this geezer's nuts. So no, not a great sportsman, but that picture, yeah, that's pretty fucking, he's pretty determined, I think, there to fucking take that kid out. So let's hope he does the same sort of thing in this thing to get out of Europe. Maybe he takes no prisoners. I don't know how it works, but he's probably could always cock it all the way up as well. Cock it up as well. Let's have a look. So orgasms. Moving on from Boris Johnson to orgasms. A woman says her life has been ruined by uncontrollable orgasms, which can be triggered simply by driving over a pothole or seeing Shania Twain in concert. Two random things there. I mean, obviously she's got a problem where she can just be triggered, orgasms out of nowhere. But the worst thing in it to be, I can't imagine anybody ever feeling that kind of excitement after smashing into a pothole. I've done it many times. Fucking fucked many wheels up. By the way, you do know you can claim for them. I haven't actually done it, but because you don't realise at the time when you smash into the pothole that you fucked your wheel up. It's only like days later when you tyres all bulbous and whatever else, and you can't remember where the pothole was. So, you know, you're fucking buggered then, ain't you? But anyway, this woman's having uncontrollable orgasms triggered by random things like Shania Twain concerts. Most of the time she feels like I'm sitting on an ant's nest. At times where they tickle all day, but then it sets off into a full-blown orgasm. Driving over potholes, aircraft turbulence, escalators, violins. Why violins? I don't know how many women should say they went to a Shania Twain concert and she made them orgasm. Well, I don't think many men either. I don't particularly find that fucking music would make me orgasm or come anywhere close. Yeah, but yeah, that's fucking ruined sex. What you doing? You couldn't possibly have sex then, could you? You'd be like, I've had enough today. Thanks very much. I've been orgasming all day. Now you want to have a bit of fucking roll in the sack? No thanks. Can't work well. That can't in a relationship. It's a shame. Poor woman. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, some kids were bumped into Lionel Messi on a beach in Antigua. And some British kids, and he played a game of football with them. That was been fun for the kids to have a kick about with Lionel Messi just out of the blue, you know, out like that. I pulled it out because they've got a picture of him here, and the reason I pulled it out is because I was like, what the hell is he wearing? Look at those, it looks like he's wearing a bloody nappy. That's the worst shorts for a man of many, many millions, and you know, probably a style and football icon. That is the worst pair of shorts I've ever seen on anybody. You know, not being anti-football or anti-Lionel Messi. That is fucking looks like he's wearing a polka dot nappy. Moving on, these are all random. I should have put these in some kind of order, but it doesn't really matter. A pub boss shut down one of his flagship boozers after punters broke his golden rules of no phones and no swearing. Drinkers were marched out for using the F word and for texting pals. What the fuck, you know, this place is like Basil Fawlty place, isn't it? He's doing it to imposing a mobile phone ban to encourage social conversation. He has also got rid of jukeboxes, fruit machines and TVs, but his latest crackdown has left drinkers flummoxed. Do these people not know that there's a million other pubs in the country? I mean, there's probably another one on the next street where they're not fucking dealing with Basil Fawlty psychopath, you know? So if you're going to sit there and let somebody tell you to shut up or be quiet or, you know, tell you what to do when you've just, don't want to sound misogynistic, but some of the blokes have probably just got out of that, you know, to go around to the pub. Some of the long-time married blokes anyway, who blame their wives, but really it's them being fucking arseholes. So I get it. I'm going back on the women's side there, look. But yeah, but you got some guy then telling you what to do there. So then you'd be like, shit, man, I'm going back home and fucking better at home. Drink cheaper lager in the house if I'm going to put up with that shit. Gizmo, the dog that was disappeared by the seagull. A psychic has got involved, and she's saying that she can see him or can feel him or whatever. She goes telepathic energy, and then she can see him in a garden with a pond somewhere. It's crazy. I mean, she's obviously jumping on the bandwagon. And what she said here, the woman who's lost the dog said, well, you know, I'll take her advice because anything is worth a try, and she's got a good track record. Apparently, this woman's famous for finding animals psychologically or telepathically. She's found dogs, cats, skunks. Who was looking for a skunk? Anyway, she said that she saw the seagull. She's gone back and can feel it, and she saw the seagull flying in the direction of a big tree. And the woman said, then there is a massive one in the back garden. So it sounds very hopeful. What, a tree in a back garden? Really? Fucking hell. You know what I mean? It's like I saw him flying from the back garden past a big tree. It's fucking tenuous as you... not tenuous, what's the word? It's about as obvious as you could probably put a statement. Anyway, it reminded me actually of a friend of mine who lost his dog down a rabbit hole. About this dog over a cliff. he lost the dog down a hole on a cliff edge or something like that. Anyway, but the dog disappeared for days, and they thought it was dead because it was a deep place, a deep cavity or whatever, and they couldn't get it out. They went down the fucking cliff and all this kind of stuff, couldn't find it, and they assumed the dog was dead. So because they were so upset, his girlfriend wanted to talk to one of these kind of people, a medium or whatever. And she talked to him, and she said, "Oh, the dog's in a good place now. You know, he's happy and all this kind of stuff." Obviously, talking to him in the afterlife. And anyway, 2 days later, the police turned up with him at the door. You know, with the fucking dog who's still alive. It had just been stuck or found its way out of this hole. So this woman had been talking to God knows who, but it wasn't a dead dog or the dead dog that she said she was. What's this one? A driver has been arrested after crashing. A driver crashed into parked police cars with, wait for it, 112 million pounds of drugs in his van. If there's ever a time not to fucking even see a police car, let alone smash into them, is when you've got 112 million pounds of drugs in your van. Someone's going to be very fucking upset with him. I'll bet you what you fucking like, because he's such a dopey fucker that he's crashed into the police vans, that wasn't his 112 million pounds of fucking drugs. So he's right in the shit. But first of all, he's in prison. And secondly, is he right in the shit? Because he ain't fucking someone's going to be really pissed off about that. Yeah, they stopped him about an hour later and seized 600 pounds of crystal meth. So fucking tough shit for him, really. And there's going to be a lot of people not partying that weekend, and somebody's going to be wanting their 112 million pounds back. But fucking dopey fucker, he'll have to hide in prison for a few years by the looks of it. What's this one? What time we got? Yeah, so 2 anti-vegan protesters have been fined after eating dead squirrels at a food market. Anti-vegan these are. They basically just took along a couple of dead squirrels, still with the fur on, and just ate them raw. Just started chomping them at this food festival. What fucking point are you trying to prove with that? You know what I mean? It's like they were fined and whatever else, but some kind of like try and get infamous or something. Or they had t-shirts on and was eating these, chomping on these sort of raw squirrels, and doesn't really have any reason. You know, what's the fucking benefit of doing it? They're just there to piss vegans off, aren't they? But you're going to piss meat eaters off. You're going to piss. If I was there eating a fucking meat burger, I'd be fucking pissed off for seeing somebody eating a dead squirrel in front of me. You know what I mean? It's like you're pissing everybody off, really. So that's a backfired plan. A couple more left, a few more left. Sonic, the brains of 40 American diplomats. This is a bit fucking X-Files. The brains of 40 American diplomats are believed to have shrunk in the wake of an alleged sonic attack in Cuba, scientists have claimed. A fucking weird thing to do, or to say or to suggest. The brains of 40 American diplomats are believed to have been shrunk. How would you like go about, what's the plan? I don't know. Should we attempt to shrink people's brains? It's like something like Dr. Zhivago or Dr. Some kind of Dr. Frankenstein type thing, isn't it? Anyway, they do some tests. Some diplomats claimed that they experienced concussion-like symptoms, including headaches and memory loss or whatever, and they did some tests on the people, and it said that their brains were 5 centimetres or 5 millimetres smaller than they should be. 40 people, so it can't be nothing, but it's a weird thing, isn't it? It's like, I've never heard of anything like that. A sonic attack, they're saying. So that's a new one. But could it just be that those American diplomats have smaller brains anyway? How did they measure them before they was there as a diplomat? Maybe they just had small brains anyway, Maybe they're on Trump's team. Go on and on with the jokes on that one, I suppose, but ain't got time really, got to move on. Extremists bid, an Islamic television station which called for magicians to be put to death could be stripped of its license. And also they put hate speeches against gay people. And and somebody's put a picture of Paul Daniels on there saying, like me, not a lot. But yeah, they're just fucking, why would you want to kill magicians? They're anti-gay, they're anti-this, they're anti all the standard usual things that you would usually think of they would come out with, calling gay people worse than animals and worse than pigs and whatnot, demanding the death penalty for magicians. What the fucking hell's wrong with magicians? Well, nothing wrong with gay people either, but what's wrong with fucking magicians? Why, you know, fucking, I know David Blaine's a bit of a twat, maybe he's fucking, you know, been watching his programs perhaps. Yeah, but they should be off air anyway if they're hating, putting that kind of shit out, you know. I don't know whether they're being watched over here. I'm not sure where the TV broadcast is. Where is it? Dubai or somewhere like that, I'm not sure, but you know, that's basically just fucking ISIS propaganda type TV, isn't it? A shopper, Donna Hewer, named and shamed, has left a 1-star review for a department store because an assistant used the word quid instead of pound. Quid. She wrote on Google, "I expect better from John Lewis," and called her experience in Cheltenham unacceptable. Who the fuck is Donna Hewer when you're at home? Who do you think you are, really, that you're going to sort of say something so pathetic is unacceptable? And is it ruined your day, did it, that somebody said quid instead of pound? Absolutely pathetic. Again, where there's money, there's stupid people. Fucking the wrong way around. Fucking money's gone to her head. What's this one? A stick from the Titanic with an electric light on it that was used to signal for help from the lifeboat has been sold for $62,500. A lot of money. Again, for just something. Well, it was something off the Titanic though, so you know it's always going to make good money. But it's just a stick with a light on it. But it's anyway. The cane had been expected to sell at Guernsey, an auction in Guernsey, for $300,000 to between $300,000 to $500,000. So whoever put it into that auction has made a bit of a rick there, I think, because he's only got $62,000. So should have waited if the other auction was in a few months' time. But then it's all with hindsight, isn't it? Starbucks lover Darren Peed, 51, has spent £4,000 on coffee in 84 cities in Starbucks, and he's made a statement that he would never shop anywhere else for coffee other than Starbucks. Oh, it's a super fan. But what's more weird about that is that he's documented or knows that he spent £4,000 in 84 cities on Starbucks coffee. Who's got the time to sort of fucking make a note of all that sort of stuff? Really, pretty impressive. He's been to 84 different cities though. But you know, he's probably a bit of a boring fucker if he's making notes like that. Right, last two. 15 motorists per minute. Oh, it's heat wave. Tomorrow's going to be the hottest day of the year, or of all time. I think they said hottest day of all time. So super hot tomorrow. I said I was going to take the day off. Executive didn't take the day off the other day. I didn't do it. I should do it tomorrow, but I can't. But I'm going to try and get some time off tomorrow because if it's the hottest day, you've got to try and enjoy it. Innit? Everybody else is talking about how to safeguard yourself and to keep out the sun and to, you know, turn the fan on, put some ice in it, and do this that, and the other. I'm like, fuck. I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, you know, fucking bring it on. Hottest day of the year. Sunshine, sun, you know, enjoy it. Sit in the shade if you want, but fucking, we don't get many. People moan when it's cold and moan when it's hot. Just, you know, enjoy it. It could be pissing down the following day. I think it actually meant to be. So, anyway, I'll be enjoying it if you lot fucking don't anyway. Anyway, it's saying that 15 motors per minute will break down this week in the UK as the UK roasts in the heat wave. That would be a bad situation. That would be. That's when you get pissed off, when you broke down on the motorway, or you're stuck on the motorway, and fucking then you break down. No, sorry, then and in the hottest day of the year, that is a pain in the arse. In fact, a guy came to buy something off me yesterday, and he came to pick it up, and he'd been stuck in the motorway yesterday where it was really hot, and he'd spent 4 hours on the M25. So he was like, someone had pulled up, and like someone had poured a bucket of water over his head. He was absolutely soaked in sweat. So that kind of been very nice. But yeah, like I said, you got to take a day off and enjoy it. So the moaners are the ones who are at work, I guess. Right, last thing is Chris Eubank has said that he wants to be the next James Bond. That is never gonna happen, is it? He's not even an actor. He's a personality at fucking most, but he's not going to be the next James Bond. So that is just a bit of clickbait, or get yourself in the paper for maybe just, you know, been out of the paper for fucking too long. But it's funny because Chris Eubank, I saw him once in a truck round at the. You've seen a big truck that he's got, like the biggest truck you could imagine. Something that only belongs on the motorway, but he drives it around the streets like it's like a family car, and it's like, you know, probably one of them. And I saw him round at the car wash around the corner. It drove it into the car wash for people to clean the car, not for him to do it, for you know, when they got the people come over and sort of clean your car for you. And there's about 4 of them. There was sort of ladders and everything trying to get to do this car. They must have thought, what the fuck, when this one drove in. Yeah, and he was stood there with his gear on and that. But they were all like, you know, it was really high, and they were up trying to clean this truck. So that must have been a shit job of the day. Right, that's all I've got time for. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'm going to do another one tomorrow, which is going to be Thursday. Yes, maybe 2 more this week, trying to get them all done Monday to Friday. So hope you enjoyed it. If not, so shit. See you next time. Bye.